your dreams. I eat, sleep, bleed.
Fancy meeting you here. I haven't done one of these solo videos in a while, but here we are. Now, today's video is going to be a little bit different. Well, it's not new to me outside of the camera, but when it's in here, it is completely new to me per se, as this would be my very first tutorial video. So basically this entire video is my tutorial to you on how to make a prop Nifty Difty Sketchbook from my dear old friend Rocco and his spin-off series Teal's Clues. Now, he came to me with the idea, we did some negotiating, and we came up with a finalized design, and hopefully things will work out. So without further ado, here is my tutorial on how to make your very own prop, in case you'd want to. But before we get into that, please, if you enjoyed watching this video, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, hitting that bell notification, leaving a comment down below and saying stuff like, hey, we want more. And I'll do what I can to do any other tutorials that you guys want me to do. And yeah, let's get into the materials that we need. Here are some materials that are needed: 4 custom chair-shaped pieces, a can of black spray paint, a can of white primer, a can of orange spray paint, 6-gauge armature wire, 1 wooden dowel rod, 1 Truistic black crayon, Avery shipping labels in standard paper format, 8.5 by 11, clear adhesive sticker paper or contact paper, a printer for your covers and wrappers, 1 8mm hole puncher, yellow construction paper, scissors, and this step is completely optional, but if your stickers aren't sticking properly, just use some super glue. Like I said, this step is completely optional. Now then, let's get started. Speaking of materials, these are the main pieces that you need. And keep this in mind, I have yet to look at the finalized print. These just arrived not even a few seconds ago, and I'm kind of nervous to see how they turned out. But these pieces I got are from woodcrafter.com. I'm not a sponsor, by the way. They're just a good laser engraving company that I get my pieces to make my props from. But I want to see how they did with this one, because it's an entirely different shape. And yeah, hopefully they don't let me down. They usually don't anyway. They usually put a smile on my face anyway, so. Color C. Oh. Oh boy. They still have yet to let me down. They still have yet to let me down. The pieces, they arrived. I figured they'd be a little bit small, a little bit bigger, but what can you do? Like, sure, like, it's not like, probably hold it like this, but like, I'm more concerned on how the coils would turn out. But let's give it a shot. Now the first thing that I'm gonna do is the toughest thing to do is applying, well, making those spirals, I should say. So what you gotta do, in my case, to make my spirals, I have a old broom handle, which can really do the trick, depending on which side you want the coils to be. And you just turn as much to your standard. Make sure you give some away, because if you don't, then you're just gonna have a struggle and struggle and struggle. And quite frankly, I don't want you guys to struggle as much as I used to do. I mean, I still am struggling, but you get the idea. Like the genius I am, my idiotness forgot to show or tell what the dimensions of those cover pieces were. The cover dimensions are 5 by 5. Thank you. And you have your coil. Just let me trim off the corners, or the excess, I should say. Grab your pieces, because you're gonna need it. You're gonna mess around with it. Try to make sure that the coil fits around all sides. Just mess around with it if you have to. You're most likely gonna have to mess around with it anyway, so. And keep this in mind, your fingers will hurt when you mess around with it, but that's because of the tight nails and squeezes. Now to see if it'll function opening wise. Because if I can get it to open, first try, then we're off to a great start. Okay, so here's the draft. Okay, not too shabby of a start. Keep this in mind, the ends will be the most challenging part, but above all, you should be fine. I think we got the coil part done. Just let me get a small crayon and see what I can do with here. For the crayon recommendation, I recommend the Truistic crayon marker because it is at a perfectly small size. All I gotta do really is just to apply the wrapper. It may not be big, but it is tolerable. But let's see if the coil, let's see if this one can hold it, at least to standard. I mean, it holds it, at least. I have a jumbo crayon here somewhere. It's funny. Okay, I do. So let's see. So this is my homemade checkered crayon. You can easily tell by the size difference. Now let's see how this looks if I used a jumbo. Okay, yeah, the jumbo crayon will not function, so this will be your golden ticket. I just gotta figure out which side can be the crayon catcher. I think I could probably trim off this little corner if I can find my cutters. Make sure that you don't stab yourself with the cutters because they are extremely sharp. Now to figure out which side could be the catcher. I think in most cases, this side can be the catcher. In most cases, anyway. There we go. Now let's see how it's a bit too big. That's better for that. Now cut off this little excess piece. That way no one gets cut. Because these wires are pretty sharp if you screw them up. So I have the crank catcher. Yeah, so I have the crank catcher. Maybe if I cut it at a different angle. If I cut it at a different angle, then I should be fine. And considering these crayons are tiny, I suggest having the coil like this. This would be a 6-gauge armature wire, and I use that crayon catcher to have it all the way to the bottom. That way, it doesn't get screwed up. But other than that, I think. I mean, I could cut off this little extra piece here, but I am just going to leave it as is. I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna cut a bit extra off. There we go. That's a bit better. Oh yeah, much better. Much better. That way, all that excess doesn't get in your way when you draw. So yeah, that'll do for the coil. And give me a few minutes and we can go to the spray painting portion. Okay, now that I'm outside, I'm gonna get the spray painting going. The 4 cover pieces, I'm gonna use my black paint. This paint still has yet to let me down. Make sure I get a good coating. And same with this side. Then for the coils, I'm gonna use my primer. Retouch the black. Just let this settle in, then I should be good. Now this step is a very difficult process depending on how you want this to go. As you can see, I have some pages already done. All I did was, since I don't have a custom die cutter, unfortunately, what I do is that dang it. Sorry about that. What I do is I grab a piece, just place it face down on a piece of paper, and I trace it, make sure that there aren't any screw-ups. I did take some pictures so that you guys can see, because doing the pages takes a bit longer than what I used to do, because this is a completely new shape. It's a shape I'm not used to. So yeah. So I'm currently tracing the last 2 pages for this prop. And as for the coils, the paint is currently drying right now. They should be dry either tomorrow or Thursday. But yeah, here is the final draft. There is a little bump right here, but I'm gonna cut that off anyway. So what you gotta do to cut them, obviously you need a pair of scissors. Me personally, I'm using these gold scissors I got at a sewing store. And basically all you gotta do is just cut the shape. Now, me personally, I tend to cut around the paper first. That way it's easier for me to hold, and that way no excess gets in my way trying to screw me up cutting wise. But since you are cutting the shape, you gotta be very cautious. You gotta be very patient. You gotta let the scissors guide you. You also gotta guide the paper with the scissors, because getting all the lines on point is the most difficult, challenging task. But you'll get the hang of it if you keep doing this often, as I have. Just now for me, this shape will definitely be getting a lot used to, because this is a completely different shape, a shape that I'm not used to, a shape that is first time trying for me, and yeah. So in order for so I'm gonna save a bit of time and do a time lapse to cut the next shape. That way you guys don't have to hear me rambling. But here is the first piece. Then yeah, activate time lapse. And there we go, second page done. Now to clear off all this excess paper. Now, for the most simplest task. The hole punching. Now the hole punching is very simple, but your hands will hurt a bit if you keep doing it often. So what I do is I cut 3 sheets, well 3 pieces every 2 sheets. So that's 6 pages in total. That way, like say if I cut 5 pages of 18, for example. No. 5 pages, 21. 5 pages would be 5 pages of 3 would be 21. So I do 6 pages, but in this case I'm doing 8. So what you gotta do is, well, first you gotta trace them. You gotta trace the circles on where the hole that you should punch the holes at. You line them up with the hole, and then you hole punch. Then you just gotta do that 5 more times, and then pages will be set. Like I said, I did take some pictures on the other pages to see. That way you don't have to hear me ramble every so often on how to do this, because there's other people in this world that tend to do stuff like I'm doing now, except this is an original shape. So yeah, sorry about that. My camera decided to glitch out on me. But yeah, as I was saying before, my camera rudely interrupted me. All the pages are done. Now tomorrow I'm going to get the stickers and the crayon wrapper, and then come back to see if the paint is dried. Then we can assemble the full prop itself. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully things will get better, because I'm excited to reveal to the final result, and I hope you guys are too. Okay, so as for the crayon, I decided to do this off cam because it would take a bit of a struggle to get it on cam. But yeah, this is what the crayon will look like. But I also decided to make a white crayon as well. I couldn't get the wrapper to be white because otherwise the computer that I was using would act up, and the printer would just screw up everything. So I used the same wrapper for the white crayon, and I made 4 covers, wrappers I should say, for the crayons, but I have 2 extra, so these would be the crayons. Also, that is almost done. I should be getting the covers, the wrappers, tomorrow. And then once the paint is completely dried, I can probably have it ready. But this coil is just a test coil, so just to let everyone see how far I'm getting, I should say. But yeah, it's almost done. Hopefully things go well tomorrow. Okay, so as for the cover stickers, since I don't have any packaging tape, I have some vinyl sticker paper, which obviously you can see that it's clear. And A-Sub is the brand that I'm using. So all I'd have to do is just peel off this sticker paper, then apply it on the covers, and they'll be cut out. Okay, now that the paint is finally dried, everything's good to go, and I know, I'm in a tank top. Don't judge me. It is getting close to that time of year. You can see all the ink I have on my skin, but that's besides the point. Now then, let me reveal the first ever prop version of the Nifty Difty Sketchbook. Oh man, I'm just glad I was able to have the privilege of turning this thing into an actual prop. This is an original design. My buddy messaged me some images that he would like to use, and we talked some ideas, and this is the final version of it. But yeah, look at this thing. Surprised the crayon is even staying intact. And yes, ooh, gotta be careful. He did ask, well, he made a phone for this, because this would be for his own series. But now the moment of truth. Does it open well? And it does. See, most of the time when I make props like this, most of the time it doesn't freaking open. But I'm glad this one does. Sure, I messed around with the coil a little bit, but that I managed to get it to open properly. But yeah, this is the official version of the Nifty Difty Sketchbook, and yeah, I guess if you guys liked this tutorial, and if you want to see similar tutorials like this, do me a favor, hit the like button, leave a comment down below saying, hey, we want more, and I'll do what I can. But yeah, I'm glad I managed to get this to life, because people say that they were doubting me, but I'm not mentioning names. I am a risk taker, and as you can see, I am a man of doubts, and I am glad that I managed to get this done. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, this has been my first tutorial. I hope to do more. Bye.